being back there and being able to kind of play and have some success like you did on Saturday night, just how good did it kind of feel like?
Yeah, it feels great, man. Yeah, we were there. First time going back was I want to say in Miami, and played well there as well too. Obviously, super grateful for 49ers. That was not a stumbling block, but that was one step in my journey. That I always remember, man, and very appreciative of Kyle. Talked with Shanahan, during practice, and John Lynch and everything that they poured into me as a player. I know me and you had talked about that before. It's just that was one of the stops that really helped shape me into the football player that I am today. But it's always good to go back and play against your former team and all that good stuff. And so yeah.
Grant, you've been tabbed as a special teams ace, for a special teamer. You continue to show what you can do as a receiver. Mm-hmm. Has your lack of maybe opportunity just been the way you've been used, and because Sean has so many receivers in his formations, is that one of the reasons you signed here, and how excited are you to show off your receivers?
Yeah, I think honestly, when it comes to my career, I think I've always been sneaking through the back door as far as special teams go. Arizona, started out in Arizona, and then obviously had a quick stop in San Francisco, and then been a few other places. But to answer your question, I think that during this free agency, I've always wanted to make sure that I pride myself on being a two-way player. I keep on saying that, but it's something that I truly believe in. And I think that obviously when you have Coach Rizzi sign, and then you have Sean Payton, who's obviously the head coach and the play caller here, and I just really wanted to make sure that it was the place that I went to could cater to both. And again, I take pride in run blocking, I take pride in running routes and making plays, but same exact thing in making sure that I'm going down and covering kicks and down in the punt inside the 5. I think that's just as important. And so both of those phases, you can't win without one phase in the game. You need offense, defense, and special teams to win the game. And so whatever my role is, whatever that is, that's I'll be the best at it. So
Trent, do you ever talk to the young guys and kind of share with them your journey, the value that being a special teams contributor can have, and kind of help you make it in this league?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I've had me and the undrafted guys who are here now, Coach Jack, Kyrie's, JD, all those guys, even Newton, all those guys that we've had conversations, and they've asked me questions just about what it's like being undrafted, what it's like kind of starting behind and all those different things. And that's one of the main things that I talk to them about is being able to show your value on special teams. And I think that another thing as well too is you could come out here as an undrafted player and have a great camp day after day after day, but you got to be able to do it again and again and again and again. And you got to be able to have that. You have to be able to have that alternate play on special teams as well too. You have to be able to have that because just the odds. There's so many odds that are stacked up against you, and I think there's a lot of things that went well for me, and I was blessed with the opportunity while I was in Arizona. I didn't have a number of receivers that were in front of me. We had Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk, but there was space and opportunity there for me to be able to kind of crack the roster and make the team. And Jeff Rogers, who's coming to town here shortly, he was a big advocate for me as well too on special teams. So there's a lot of things that have to go right, but I just try to tell those guys, man, you just got to control what you can control. You can't control if the ball doesn't come. You can't control if the ball comes your way. You can't control if you're in on the play and it's drawn up for you. The only thing you can control is knowing the playbook, lining up, doing your assignment and executing it. So I just try to tell those guys, never make the same mistake twice, all those different things. And so yeah, we've had great conversations.
For you guys in coverage, what kind of weapon can Jeremy be inside the 10, inside the 5 down when he gets that consistency down?
Oh yeah, I think he can be very, very, very excellent. You've seen today, we worked on that today, and I'm super excited. And he's a young player as well too, and I think that he's only going to catch his stride as we continue to work on these different things. And again, like those hitting yardages, they make up. They make a big difference in the game between 3 points and 7 points, all those different things. And so I think that as he continues to work, as we continue to work with each other, right? There's a little bit of a quarterback receiver feel when it comes to punt, and I have to know where he's going to be placing the ball. He has to know where I'm going to be. He may have a little bit of a miss hit. I need to know where his miss hit might be so I can track that ball. And so I think that as we continue to work together, I think we're only going to get better at that as a whole. So
Trent, you're in a lot of different places, and you have a lot of respect, I think, from teammates. Did you get some text messages after you made that catch on Saturday?
Yeah.
Anybody you were surprised to hear from?
Yeah, no. I've like you said, I've accumulated a bunch of good friendships, from different teams, and Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk, Chase Edmonds, Charles Washington, all these guys that I've played with over the years, man. It's been just so tremendous to be able to learn from them, and also obviously build friendships off the field as well too. I even talked to Stephon Diggs a couple of days ago, Gabe Davis, all these guys, man, and just super grateful, to have that friendship, but also to be able to say, hey, like, these are guys that I've learned from, being able to play with them and all those different things. So yeah.
What was your reaction when you saw the catch for the first time?
Yeah, I was literally. My focus was I knew I was close to the sideline, caught the ball. I immediately looked at the ref, and when he raised his hands up, I said, man, well, it's a touchdown. That's what I was thinking. And so I come into the sideline. I knew it was going to be close. But then once I seen it on the Jumbotron, you seen that little slither of grass between my foot and the sideline, and I was like, man, it's good. So it was awesome, man, and just looking to continue to build on it. So.